Geometry 1, Chapter 6 Test, Topic 5. You should be able to identify a midsegment and use its properties to find missing lengths or variables. So, find the value of x in each picture. Each picture is of a midsegment. So here I'm not making you identify the midsegment. As a midsegment, I am telling you there is a picture of a midsegment here. So this first triangle, we have a length of 4, we have a length of x. It is a midsegment, which means this point right here is the midpoint. So we have two congruent pieces. This point over here is also a midpoint, which means those are also congruent. Now the relationship here is that the midsegment length is half of the length of the opposite or of the parallel side of the triangle. So here we have 4, here we have x. 4 will be half of what x is. Now the other way to say that is that the parallel side is going to be twice as long as the midsegment. So what we can do is take 2 times the midsegment, and that will equal the parallel side. Now this is referring to lengths. This is not officially how it's written mathematically, but you take 2 times the length of the midsegment and it will equal the length of the parallel side. So in this case, 2 times 4 is going to equal the parallel side, which is x. So what that means is that x is equal to 8. Now we can use a very similar method in part B. We have a midsegment, which means we have congruent pieces on the left, congruent pieces on the right. The midsegment length is 3x plus 1. The parallel side is 14. Again, 2 times the midsegment is equal to the parallel side. So we take 2 times the midsegment, 3x plus 1, and we'll equal it to the parallel side, 14. Now this requires a little bit more work than example A, but not too much. We have parentheses on the left side that we need to distribute over. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 1 is 2, equals 14. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, get 6x equals 12. Divide both sides by 6, and x equals 2. Now please make sure that you're actually answering the questions. In this particular question it says find the value of x. X equals 2 then is our final answer. C. This is one of my favorites because of the amount of work that, or the trick behind it, that it is actually just a trick. Now this line right here, through the middle of the triangle, is the midsegment, which means this point here is a midpoint. So these two pieces are congruent. And the point up here is also a midpoint, which means these two pieces are congruent. Well, if those two pieces are congruent, and this one has a length of 5, then x must be the same value. X equals 5. There's no work to it. You don't have to use this formula 2 times the midsegment equals the parallel side, because the midsegment is not actually used in this picture. It's the fact that you're recognizing that this is a midpoint, so 5 and x have to be equal.